Good morning, fine morning on a Friday. God bless you all for joining. I'm excited to be here on this Friday. Okay. We always check whether you can hear because the system is not quite set up to immediately notify us that it is live. And so that is why I always check in. Are we live? Are we live? Are we on? So God bless you for being here. I hope you can hear me very well. Today we have changed location. I've traveled and there was a change in time zone, and I was trying to relocate myself well. Now I have an audience right here in my hotel room, and so you're watching with an audience, so we won't be long today. All right, all right, all right. You are blessed. Welcome, 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 everyone. I am so excited. Okay, today we're going to talk about something very, very interesting. Um, the whole week we've been talking about birthing the promise. How do you know that you're pregnant? We've talked about protecting the pregnancy. We've talked about things we need to do in order to ensure that the pregnancy is sustained, the seed is birthed. We talked about all these things. Today, I want to talk about something very simple. Who are you becoming as you're waiting for the promise? Who are you becoming as you await the promise? So many of us, we allow the process, the wilderness, to turn us into different people. It is so crucial who you become in the process. And I want to have a heart to heart with you this morning when it comes to that. All right. Because more important than what God is giving you is who you have become in the process. And many of us forget that before God calls you to a people, before he calls you out to someone, somewhere, he first calls you to himself. And that means that there needs to be intimacy with God. Um, there has to be a way you live. I feel like I'm turned. Let's see if I can shift myself. Let's see. Maybe this is a little better. Let's try that. Still a little dark, but I should have stepped outside. But I hope you don't mind how dark this is. Okay, so who you become in the process is much more important and very, very crucial for this journey. The promise, like I said, is very important, but we have to be aware that more than that, what God wants us to do and who He wants us to become is much more important than that. What is God developing in you? Have you had a situation where you're wondering, God, what are you doing? What exactly are you doing? There is something that he wants to. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Before we go further, please make sure you put the notification on, because what's happening is I'm moving constantly. The time is, it changes, and you're bearing with me, and this is great. I love those of you that have been consistent. I love the new ones that are also coming. And so I want to make sure that you guys know I'm on. So turn on your notification. There's a way it notifies you the minute I go live. So turn on all notifications. All right. What is God developing in you? Today, we're going to be brief. We're going to be straight to the point. When would I know when I see the thing that God is developing? When would I know? Because when you sit back and you think about, here's a promise. He said he's doing this. He said he's doing that. But where is it? You ask yourself, where is the promise? Oh, All right. One mishap. We got this. We got this. We got this. Let's see. Who am I becoming as God is building this person? The story that came to mind, or the example that came to mind when I started thinking about this topic was, can you imagine going through a situation that is pretty rough, that is pretty unexpected? And while going through the situation, you become very bitter. You become so bitter. And at the end of it, you think about, well, people did this to me, or someone did that to me. And that has made you very bitter. Did you become what God wanted you to become in that process? Or did you allow your flesh to take over? Now, I'll give you another example. I think an example that really rings home is if is about my son. I'll give you a prime example. So my son, as you know the story, he's still developing. He's still growing. He's still learning to um he doesn't eat by mouth per se, but he's learning to eat by mouth, right? So that's 3 years. And he is also learning. We're trying to make him stand, but at the moment, he's not walking. And there's so many other things that he's not doing. And you may look at it and say, that the milestones are not being met. So, like, you know, taking care of him can become a burden. It's no burden to me at all. It can become a burden to the point where the person, or if, let's say, if mom was overwhelmed, um, mom can easily become upset. Dad can easily become upset and can become very either regretful, can become very disappointed in the process. The waiting can seem so tough that you become resentful. Does that make sense? You just become resentful. And in so doing, I'm trying to find the right words. In so doing, if God was trying to build something in you, you can easily lose or not attain the thing that God was trying to build in you if bitterness is what came out. Does that make sense? If bitterness is what came out, then you won't be able to attain. So, like, I see other children that, they will say, oh, this child is a special needs child. This child has issues. This child has autism. Sometimes you see how the parents behave towards the child, and you think to yourself, like, I'm so tired, just go to sleep. Or even with your regular kids, right? Like, how your reaction and your response to what you're facing now, it can truly lead to you becoming very resentful. I hope that makes sense. It made sense in my head, and now I'm trying to explain it. You can become resentful. So any process at all. My son was the best example I can think of. But really, caregiving, you're taking care of a sick mom, a sick mom, a sick dad. And at some point you're like, oh, I'm just so tired of this. Like, I'm always the one doing it. I'm always, and you become resentful. But you were the one called and chosen to do so. You were the one who has the capacity to do that. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So it's not that you become somebody else when the blessing comes. Oh my gosh, my parents are healed. Oh my gosh, my child is healed. It's not the end. Although we say the end justifies the means, ah, I may say it a different way, because you can get to the end because, thank you for that word, Bibi. Because it's draining, right? Because it's draining, you can easily feel like, oh, I can't believe this. But what I want to tell you is the process matters, and the process counts. The process matters and the process counts. You understand? So I believe that today, the few minutes I'm going to spend with you, I want us to focus on the who you're becoming, the you, and not so much the birthing of the promise, right? So the promise is there. The promise is I want to see what God said. Like, God, you promised me to be a kingdom financier. You promised me to be wealthy. You know, I'll tell you a funny story. If you have eyes and you see me, you will always see money. Okay. And a lot of times, those days, I will be around some people, and they can see well. So they will see and they will say, "Oh, woman of God, can you send me this? Can you send me that?" And I will say, "Oh, I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it." Because those days my revelation was different, my giving was different, I grew into who I am today, right? I didn't just get up like that. So you will ask me, and I'm like, "Why are you asking me for money?" Like, I don't understand. And but because they will see, and naturally when you see me, and supernaturally when you see, you'll see like, "Oh, this is a woman of wealth." So you think the money is sitting there. I'm going somewhere with this, okay? You think the money is sitting there. You say, "Oh, send me this. Can you do this to me?" Oh, I had people ask me some strange things. "Hey, can you send me 7,000? Can you send me 6,000?" I said, "It's coming. Oh, I know what you saw. I know why you're asking me. Oh, but it's on the way. It's not here." Um, I was going somewhere with the story. So in seeing that, you can become a little frustrated. So that was a by the way. It wasn't part of what I was saying. But because the prophecy is saying this woman is a woman of wealth, this is a woman with money, this is a woman, and when I always see gold in piles. That's what I always see, gold in piles, and so it's like a pyramid and it's just gold all the time, right? So I was expecting some emojis or some laughs. Ah, rich auntie day here, okay? And so when that happens, they can get frustrated, like, "Oh, you don't want to give." I said, "No, you are seen in the spirit. I am here in the physical." So that can frustrate you because it's not a new word. It's a word that has lasted for a while. But in the process, who am I becoming? And when you become, what will happen when you become that thing? Let's try another example. Thank you. God bless you. Let's try another example. Another example is, I'm going to be married. God, you promised me marriage. You promised me marriage. And then the time comes. And then you are married. And then you find out the ready you is not the ready you. Okay, let me say it again. The ready you is not the ready married. Aha. The ready you that was so you were married, you knew that, it's like, I'm ready for marriage. That's your preparation when you were there. Now you got to being married. Now you're like, the ready me is not the ready married. Oh, what did you say? Excuse me? You're a whole different person. You're like, there's a huge discrepancy. What I'm saying is that I want you to focus on you in the building of you. Oh, I'm trying to help myself because if I zoom in, I might go for an hour, and I'm not planning to go for an hour. Oh, this is for someone right now. This is for someone right now. Because here's the thing, we get so caught up in the end. This is why people live disappointed lives. They live lives without fulfillment. They live life without fulfillment. There's a scripture that comes to mind in Isaiah 54, verse 4 and 5, where it says, "I am the Lord, thy maker, thine husband. I am thy maker. I made you. I'm also your husband." So you see, if the Lord is your maker, he's your husband as a single person, when you become married, you are not stuck and married to the idea of marriage. Let me explain that one. You see, for you to truly enjoy your marriage, you need to disconnect from all the fears of divorce and this. You have to disconnect from all those things that hold you bound and hold you captive. What are people going to say? What are this? All those things, you have to free yourself from it. How do you free yourself? You recognize that the Lord who is thy maker is also your husband. What that means is you are positioned and you are one with God. There's intimacy with the Lord. And when there is that intimacy, marriage is what it is. Marriage has its ups and has its downs, a lot of downs, actually. But for you to see the down as even up, you have to have been built. That's what I say, marriage requires capacity. It's not just, I feel like I want to be married and then you're, no. So the ready you is not the married you. So how do I become the properly married me? How do I become the person who was excited about marriage and maintains the joy within the marriage, is recognizing that the Lord is my strength. And there are many things that happen in marriage that weaken you as a person. That's why I said marriage is not for the faint at heart. It's not for the faint. So naturally, it will automatically weaken you. It will weaken you. So you ask yourself, how do people end up with mental health and they need therapy? They need this in marriage, the place that was the place of joy, because they have connected themselves with people who have not gone through the process of healing and becoming whole. Oh, you complete me. The fact that somebody completes you is actually a clue that you are uncompleted. That is your clue. So if you're uncompleted and God is trying to make you whole, He said, will thou be made whole? He's trying to make you whole so that when you enter that marriage, nothing the other person does impacts you. There is a place like that. No, there is a place like that where nothing that person does. I mean, whether they want to jump up, they want to jump down, they want to argue, you're like, huh? Listen, there is a place like that. But that place comes when you are hidden in Christ in God. When it doesn't matter. This is where you frustrate the tokens of darkness, because darkness wanted to use your marriage against your destiny. And then they turned around, you realize, oh, two can play that game. What did you come with today? Arguments? Oh, please. And let me continue what I was doing. This is where you frustrate the tokens. Can you frustrate the tokens of darkness? God has made you a promise. The promise is not really here. The enemy comes, people come, loved ones come. Oh my gosh, how is your baby? Your baby is good. Oh yeah, wow. I can't believe this is what you're going through, and you are okay. You see, me, the joy in my heart, I can give you some. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't you ever get it twisted. My circumstances do not change me. Nothing, absolutely nothing speaks to me. It is what God is saying. That is what changes me. It's not, oh, you're going through and, and if you must know, if it looks like, this girl, she's not very consistent. Today, she's late. Tomorrow, she's this. Because I have a care. I have to give care. That's 24/7. Do you understand? So sometimes it looks like things are a little on shaky, a little, yeah, because at any given moment, I tell my women of value, when I come in a meeting, you don't know what I've had to do before I come. Every choice I make to sit in a meeting like this or sit in a situation, even today, I'm still with the children. So any choice I make to sit anywhere for 30 minutes, 1 hour, it's a stretch. It's beyond dedication. For anybody that can take a camera and go live, oh, it's live. I have so many different places in my house I can sit and do lives, but they are convenient places, and they are places that, you understand? So sometimes you adjust yourself to the circumstance. No, you must adjust yourself to circumstance. Don't live in the future waiting. Oh, after this happens. No, I know what the Lord has said about my son. And I'm mentioning it because we are birthing the promise. He is the root of birthing the promise. So I use him as an example a lot. So you understand. So this is a child who needs care all the time, 24/7. Okay. It's not a child you can say, oh, my 3-year-old, yeah, go pick up this, bring me the pen. That's not what we were talking about. That's not what we're talking about. It's a whole different situation. So at any given moment, but can that change me? No, that cannot change me because listen, this assignment, I won't trade it. I will trade it for what it needs to be traded for when the time comes and God says, now. Do you understand what I'm saying? When the time comes and God says, now you can trade this for something else, then. But until then, the process is what it is. You adapt, you adhere, you have to be malleable in the hands of the Lord so that he can do what he can turn you which way. He says the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord. He turns it. It's God who turned the heart of Pharaoh. Even when Pharaoh was trying to give in, God was like, no, I will go and make his heart hard. It was God because the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord. So it is God that changes things. It's God that changes situations. It's God that alters situations. Now we speak, we have been given faith, you've been given the ability to call those things that be not as though they were. And so we co-author with God and co-create with God. So today I'm concerned about you, about who you are becoming in this process. We talked about the wilderness. We talked about where you are. Who are you becoming? Because who you're becoming is much more important than anything else. Who are you becoming? Ask yourself. What are you building? What are you becoming in the building? As a constructor of your future, as a constructor of your destiny, who are you tending to become? Don't forget to put the notifications on because my lovely assistant put out that I'm going 7 days, okay? And so I announced 7 days. It was supposed to be 5 days. So the 7 days we are going. We have 2 more days. Is it two more days? So, we'll make it work. Thank you for your adjustments. And like I said, you can always come back and watch it when you need to. But go back and think about what you are building right now. What are you building right now? And who are you becoming in the building? Did the wilderness make you a bitter person? Did you become bitter? You see, Joseph was being accused of having gone to try to get with somebody's wife. The guy was not even looking at the woman. He was accused of having gone and done that. Joseph could have said, oh, when he went to jail, he could have said, your wife is a liar. She wanted to come and lay with me. And when I refused, Joseph did not explain. No, nowhere in the Bible did it say Joseph explained himself. Joseph did not explain. He went to jail like that. He just went to prison. He said, take me to prison. He went and he kept quiet. Although he didn't know what was happening, but he knew that God was going to vindicate him. And so he went. See, right now you're learning patience. You're learning endurance. Maybe it's not time. We know the millions are coming, but if millions came in your hand, I personally know several people that millions laid in their hands. I personally know people that received millions. I can give you at least 5 people that received millions and crashed it into the ground. Not to the ground, inside the ground. Like the money just vanished. But money is a spirit, so it'll tell you what to do and will lead you which way to go. They didn't know money was a spirit. They were never prepared. I said, don't make a mistake and come and ask me, what would you do with $1 million? because it's written there. I will pick it up and I will show you this is what the project I want to do is $5 million. So the million will start it. This is what it's going to do, the foundation of this. Don't make a mistake and bring money around me. I know where the money needs to go. I'm not waiting for a million to decide. I know exactly what I need to do with the money. I mean, some of you know we have a facility, a drug treatment facility. We need money to continue building. Yeah. Women of Value has it. We need money to continue building. So no, give me money. I will show you what the money will do. You see, tell yourself, I thought I was waiting for a promise. No, but God is more concerned about who you are becoming than the promise. God is leading me to the nations. Listen, we're going to go to the nations. But when you go there with your nasty attitude, they will send you back. Do you know that? The nations, you get there with nasty attitude, they will send you back. In other words, they will never invite you again. You will never have another opportunity. And many have lost opportunities like this. Doors open and they shut that door with their mouth. Doors open. Why? Because when God was growing you, you were busy trying to attain. I'm going to America. I'm going to America. Then America comes. Then you're like my younger sister would say, you're going to America. When you get there, what are you doing? When you get to America, what are you doing in America? You were not prepared for the hustling that is here in America. You are not prepared for the hustling in marriage. You are not prepared. Your who you are becoming is more important for me today. God, bring me the promise. Because you see, some of you, if God doesn't give you what you ask, you will be fighting him. You won't talk to God again. This is where people leave the faith. They leave the faith. How can God watch my mother? My mother passed away. Like, because how can God? I prayed to God and he didn't answer. God, where were you when my child was sick? Where were you? God was there all along. I'm asking you, where are you? Where were you? It's you that is lost. God was there all along. God was there all along. Who are you becoming? After you receive, you get the money, you lose the money because you're not ready to completely maintain the money. Or you haven't seen that you are what? A kingdom financier. There was a time I had a friend, and that friend is a multimillionaire. He called me and he was going through a rough patch in his life. He called me and I counseled him, specifically his marriage. I counseled him. And after I counseled, he said, what? This is what you do for people or what? Like, he was surprised. He said, this is what you do for people? Do you just be talking to people like that? And then the guy was trying to just lose himself. But what ended up happening is we spoke. I showed him a few things, blah, 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 blah. And let's just say he's still married today. So I'm thinking that it worked, right? I'm thinking it worked. Whatever we did, it worked. Because in that moment, in the verge, in that little gap of a time, who he spoke to was important. Had he spoken to anybody else, the person would say, just walk away from this thing. Walk away from it. But you see, God has a way of positioning voices in your life. You have to be mindful of those. This is why the right people matter. You are birthing, make sure the right people are around. Because how do you get to that end if the right person is not there? So anyway, here's why I'm telling you the story. I'm not telling nobody's business. You don't know my friend that's a millionaire. Guess what? And if I share, he knows I teach. So I need this story to share. And so he said, you know what I'm going to do for you? You deserve to have your own like facility, your own. Oh, the guy was going in on me. Like he was like, you need it. And he was just making promises. You see, the money God gives you You see, some of us, our money is for ministry. Me, nobody is giving me money to become a rich woman going around the world chilling and doing a tour. No, none of the money I'm getting is for me to live my best life. It's not true. So I dare not make such a mistake that now money has come, so I need to live my best life. Nobody is giving me money to go live a life. My money is for the kingdom. There is no confusion about that. There are things, there are people, I have a long list of people that I need to take care of things for them. The list is there. It's been there for years. There's a long list of people I need to take. I'm talking my personal money, my money. That God, if I was to work, the money I get. If I was to be gifted, the money I get. If I was to do my business, the money I get. You understand? That money is for kingdom. So if I was to change the course of that, the money would be wasted because that money is for the kingdom. It's like your tithe. If your tithe is for God, it's not now that I'm about to come and make plans and oh, my car tire. Your car tire is another budget you have to make. It's not your tithe. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there are people who have not recognized that. So such people, when money comes, because they don't know that their money was meant for kingdom assignments, they waste it. So who are you becoming? You are not able to maintain. You are not a true millionaire because when the money came, you didn't do what the money was meant to do. Money has an assignment. Why? He gives provision for the vision. There is a vision that God has given money for. Even the people of the world, they understand this concept that I'm rich, I have this. Why? They take 5%, they give it away. They take 10%, because your money always is assigned to something. You need to discover what it is assigned to. Who God makes in the process is more important than the thing you receive. Because when you retain the thing, when you receive the thing, you may not be able to sustain. What you steward, I want to become, tell yourself, I want to become the person who can steward the promise. I want to become the person who can steward the promise. Can you carry the promise? Can you maintain the promise? Can you sustain the promise? Do you know that people have gotten good marriages and have lost it? No, do you know that? People have been married to good men, good women, and they said, this person is too good. This person is not really my type. I want to become, I'm not seeing anybody type it. I want to become the person who can steward what God promised. Or just steward the promise. Yeah, perfect, Debbie. I want to become the person who can steward the. Look, they say, you who can do what? He that can steward the little will receive more. Much more is given to who. So if you can steward this small money we are giving you, you will not be able to steward more. You can't. Because you have not seen that, okay, I'm making $1,000 a month. That money it doesn't go anywhere. But out of the 1,000, I'm going to dedicate $100 for the kingdom. I'm going to dedicate $50. There was someone I recently told, go and sow a seed into an orphanage. I recently told this to someone. Go sow a seed into an orphanage. See, we don't know what is waiting for us. We don't know what's ahead. We don't know what's in the womb of time. So God will give instructions, not necessarily because he didn't say, come and give me the seed. He said, go and give to he wants you to take care of someone. I've had that prophecy several times. I remember that there was a time my son was about to have a major surgery, a major surgery. If I want to tell you how many times my son has had surgeries, I know you have not had that many surgeries. Yes, I know that. You have not had that many surgeries. I don't know who's watching, but I know you haven't had that many surgeries. For a child, if you're an adult, it's possible. But for a child, a baby, yeah, I know that the average baby should never have this many surgeries. So, and I bless God that you haven't. I have not had this many surgeries. And I thank God I have not. So we're talking about a soldier here. We're talking about an overcomer. We're talking about a champion. I call him champion. We're talking about a champion here. You understand? And he was about to have yet another surgery. And in prayer, an instruction came. So I was praying with some men. There was always prayer chains going on for my son. Yeah, I always meet men and women of God who personalize his issues and whatever he's going through. And so in one of the prayer sessions, the Lord spoke to me and he asked, he was, I heard in my spirit that I should sow a seed to a child who is in need of medical support. And I thought, that's an interesting ask. And while we were praying, as soon as we finished praying, the man of God said, this is what he's feeling in his spirit. He doesn't know how I feel about it, but this is what he's sensing in his spirit. So he also shared that he felt like I should sow a seed into the life of other children who are experiencing any medical need. Maybe the parents cannot afford or something. And so he said, there are places, there are people, there are several. So of course, I said, that's a confirming word because I received the same thing. So where do you think we should send the money? And that's how we did it. Where do you think we should send the money? And he told me. And there was two children that were going through surgery and the parents could not afford it in Ghana, actually. And so we sent money there. And then my son went to the surgery. The same surgery that people do, they have backlash, they have side effects, they have just like that unscathed. Now, let me clarify something. See, God can do things anyway. Like God can bless you regardless. He doesn't need something to bless you. But what happens is when you sow a seed, what a seed does to you is that think about a seed and what it does. A seed always brings multiplication. Unless it's the wrong condition or the wrong place that you place the seed. But a seed, regardless of it brings impact, it brings multiplication. So when you sow a seed, when you sacrifice something, you touch the heart of God. So I don't know the family from anywhere, but it touches the heart of God when you extend and you sacrifice something on the altar. The altar speaks. Altar requires sacrifice. You don't go, even the people of the world, you don't go to an altar empty-handed. You just don't. So I'm showing you a secret, right? We're talking about who you are becoming. In the process of becoming, don't just sit there and wait to receive. Always be given. Always be outgoing. There was a woman this is about 14 years ago because this started the day I got married on. So that's what I'm trying to go back. So about 14 years ago, it was like 13 and change. There was a woman who, was struggling to have children. And this was ongoing, struggling to have children. And if you know me, you know that I worked in foster care systems. So that means children who are abused, I was one of the people that was removing the children from the home, taking them to proper homes and different homes. They're not always 100%, but some of the homes were better than where they came from. So as the woman was telling me her story about all of these losses she experienced, it was insane. I told her, I said, I understand that you want to have a child. What if you consider, and God can give you a child? So that one, I'm not saying it's not possible. God will give you. But again and again, you will hear stories of God giving away, giving you a child after something. Do you understand? God giving children after something, after a sacrifice, after an action, and so I told her, I said, why don't you adopt children? Because here's the reality. In our part of the world, in, places in Africa, we don't believe, you don't have, you have to have your own children all the time. But, there are children who also need homes. So in a situation where temporarily there's a struggle for you to have, if God leads you, you can adopt a child. But even if you have, you can still adopt. So I told her, I said, consider adopting a child who doesn't have a place to stay while you prepare yourself for your own. And she thought, really, you can just adopt? I said, yes, because, and when you adopt through the system, it's not 40,000, 50,000. No, they will give you a child for free. They will give it to you for free. In other words, you don't have to struggle to go pay what other people pay when you do it through the system. So I showed her the way. I showed her how to do it. So she got with them and started talking to them. She wants to adopt. And anyway, when she started the process, she found out she was pregnant. Very shortly after she started the process, she found out she was pregnant. As I'm talking to you, she ended up back to back 4 children now. 4. 4 children. She still adopted because she started the process. But the children just came and came again. And at one point, I think 2 of them were the same age because she had to adopt and then she had a child. Does that make sense? What I'm saying is, who you are becoming. Is it that you're sitting there? I can't believe every month I have to, every month. What are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Take it to God. I'm pretty sure God will not be against you taking care of a child who doesn't have a home. I am pretty sure. Take it to him. But I don't think he will mind. What actions are you taking in the waiting? I think I've given you plenty example. I'm actually done. So if you have a question, this is a good place to put a question down. It will be great if you guys can send questions. Send questions to the Instagram DM. She will compile everything, and tomorrow I will come and I will address the questions. Because you see, some questions have come here and there, but I think tomorrow we can use it as Q&A. What do you guys think? Let's do Q&A. I recognize I'm speaking to a global audience. So wherever you are, send your questions, and I believe I can do Q&A tomorrow. I'll spend some time answering because I've talked about a lot of things. I've talked about so many things. I have not by any means exhausted birthing the promise. We're not done exhausting it, but I believe that you have enough to go in this dynamite. I think we have enough. So any questions at all? You say, oh, I have a question about my marriage connected to the birthing. How do I birth when the person I'm birthing with is not really pushing? How do I birth when that person is just, So this is a good place. Send it to the DM. She will compile everything. And then I'll come here and I'll just answer them for you. Okay? Let's do that. Don't text me any questions. If you know me personally, send it to the DM. Let her compile, and then, because I don't need to know who is sending per se. And then we can answer it for you. Because I think that even when I go back to watch myself, questions come to mind like, oh, maybe somebody may be asking this. Like when I'm watching, there are questions that come. So I can assume that you may have questions. about some of the things that we've talked about as how it pertains to your actual situation. All right. So let's do that tomorrow. We'll see what will happen Sunday. And I believe next week we're going back to Fridays, 7 a.m. I've looked at my schedule for the next 6 months. Friday, 7 a.m. is the best time because, like I said before, that is the only time, even if the children have to go to school. I think they go to school at 8, unless something changes this year. I don't know. But they're supposed to go to school at 8. So the 7 will be fine. We'll finish early enough that we can carry them go. So 7 for the next 6 months, I believe it should be okay. If I'm not on a plane or something somewhere, 7 o'clock on Friday Eastern should be perfect. You guys have done well. God bless you. Thank you for staying the course. And I pray that this journey has helped you, has given you new thoughts. Don't wait until so you say, oh, praise the Lord. No, you have to be, it's with joy that we draw. If you don't have joy while you are waiting, you can't draw. You just will not draw. I feel like virtue has left me. I feel like I preached. I thought I was teaching. It is with joy that we draw. So you need joy. You need joy to be able to draw from what you are waiting for. See what the Lord has done. To see what the Lord has done, you must have in the process. Don't wait till the end and sing that song. Sing it in the making. One of my tools, one of my weapons actually, is not so much prayer. Although we pray. Oh. It's not so much prayer. Is thanking God is one of my secret weapons. I would just out of nowhere, I actually stand in my closet. I find myself always dancing in my closet. I don't know if it's the clothes that I'm trying on or I don't know what it is, but I'm always dancing in the closet. So you see, when the enemy comes looking for you, he finds that you were dancing. Meanwhile, he came to make you cry. Then they found out that you were dancing. I said, the Lord frustrate the tokens of darkness. That means that darkness wants you to give up on the promise. Darkness wants you to relinquish. Because how else would you ask me? You think it was a good idea to keep the baby alive? And God is saying, she didn't keep the baby alive. Yes, my faith spoke for me, but it's God who decided this seed must live. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Come and see that this is good. You have to come and see it. So don't sit there for somebody to come and release and cancel or ask you to throw in the towel. No. Because you might tell yourself, I don't want this. Oh, this is the marriage. But you know what? That's the marriage God gave you. It's not every marriage God, but the one God gave you, whatever it is what God gave you. Those children, whatever it is what God gave you. Because, children are a gift. Children are a gift. They are a gift. They are a gift. So whatever it is, it's a gift. Yeah, it's a gift. I can't think of anything else. But if God is giving it to you, it's a gift. Anyway, we are finished. God bless you. I'll be looking out for the questions so that we can come back tomorrow, Q&A. You're probably wondering, what time are we coming tomorrow? That's a very good question. I don't know. I don't know. So this is why I'm telling you that you need to put the notification on. Yes. Tomorrow, I don't know the time we are coming. I'm hoping I can do morning. I'm hoping I can do morning. And if I do morning, my time zone is different. So it's not 8 o'clock Eastern, it's 9 Eastern. So we will hope for that, but it can change. But I will keep you posted, whatever it is. God bless you. All right.